All right, guys, I'm at the point where giants of this size, the 15 to 20 foot variety, I've proven without a shadow of a doubt, to myself at least, that these guys existed. The preponderance of evidence is there from all the newspaper articles in the early 1900s and late 1800s, and papers even like the Chicago Tribune and the New York Times, all the old relics and artifacts that are just huge that weren't just for decoration. The evidence is there. It's talked about in the Bible. These guys existed. I am on to bigger and better things. I want to prove that there were 100-foot giants. And I'm literally having to look straight up 100-foot Jack and the Beanstalk type giants. Follow along. I think I got some evidence of it.
Within a place called Laos, a landlocked country in the heart of the Indo-Chinese peninsula, is probably one of the most confusing archaeological sites on Earth. We have often covered possible evidence left within countless newspaper archives, logged witness testimonies, and indeed many stolen bodies of a type of ancient human far larger than we are today. Additionally, there have been many intriguing ancient giant artifacts which have been found at many sites around the world. Tools, utensils, and structures created in such scales they would be virtually useless in the hands of modern-sized people. And our archaeological site within Laos could perhaps be seen as one of the more compelling remnants, possibly left by this gigantic race of humans. However,
I just want to show you a few more of these. These are, in my opinion, these are literally mugs from giant humanoids back pre-flood, pre-Noah's Ark, pre-flood. It's talked about in the Bible. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I just want to show you a few more of these giant size artifacts. Come on, no one's designing this for art or decoration, right? These were literally unearthed. Okay, so they were under the mud. People unearthed them. They're not modern decorations. They aren't modern society. These were bowls of giants. To me, this footprint, or handprint even, matches about the size of those mugs. Look at this, a full-grown human here standing next to that. Okay, these were massive. Back before the flood, before there was less air in the atmosphere, and the atmosphere wasn't as rich, everything was bigger. Trees were bigger, animals were bigger, humans were bigger. And they weren't humans, they were Nephilim, they were giants, they were the product of fallen angels mating with human women. I want to show you more Bible evidence and then even another video that just continues to prove this. So I used to think the Bible was a fairy tale, was fiction. Flat Earth, the firmament, and other things in the Bible prove to me that it's actual literal. Giants prove that to me. And there's talk in Numbers 13:33 of how there were Nephilim here in those days. We seemed like grasshoppers to them. Okay, so they were so big that we seemed like grasshoppers. I truly believe that the Bible is a literal account of our history. And I just want to show you a few more things that further emphasize that these monsters existed.
Some people in Northern Europe were surprised when they found a very strange rock. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but its color is very similar to flesh and blood. Legend has it that it is the flesh of petrified giants. Because it was not suitable to exist in the New Age, God destroyed them, and they turned to stone. These rocks look nothing more than chunks of meat. Not only that, people also discovered rocks with strange shapes, such as human faces and bodies. The mountains look like human muscles. Do you believe there are giants turned to stone in the world?
I'm not fully committed to believing that these 100-footers were here. I know there were 15, 20, even 25-foot giants, and I'm going to keep digging, though. I'm going to keep seeing what I can find. There's some evidence that's making me lean towards it, but I'm not totally convinced yet. What I am convinced is those smaller giants existed, and they've been hidden from us to hide the Bible's truth and to hide God. So I'm going to keep digging. If I can find more proof of these big boys, I'm going to keep you guys updated, and it just proves God even more because it talks about the bigger ones in the Bible. Have a good one.